We're going to make a hammer with Adobe Illustrator. And to start off, we're going to grab the rectangle tool, which is right here on the toolbar. If you don't see it, click and hold, and it'll show you all of your different shape tools. To make things easier when you're using a lot of the shape tools, you can pull all the way over here. This little bar right here with the little triangle in it, if you click on it, it will pull it out so that you don't have to keep clicking on the toolbar. You can just click on the shapes you need. So we're going to start with the rectangle. And we're going to make a rectangular shape that's 9 wide by 110 tall. So you can just click on the page and it'll give you the options and you can just type those in. So we want it to be 9 for the width and 110 for the height. And then just click OK. My default colors were black and brown, which is what I want. If yours aren't, you can go ahead and change that now by clicking up here. Here's the stroke right here with the outline. You can change it to whatever color you want. I want mine black, so I'm leaving it. And then over here is the fill. So you just click on it and choose the color that you want here. And then we're going to move and make another triangle. And this time we want the triangle to be 20 width, 13 tall. And then click OK. We do want to change the color of this because since we're making a hammer, we want it to be a gray color. So I am going to choose this one right here. And then we're going to make another rectangle. And I'm just going to single click on here again. And this time I want it to be 8 wide by 15. Click OK. Alright, so I'm going to start off by kind of moving these together a little bit, get a little bit closer. So with this selected, we're going to go up to Effect, Warp, and then down here to where it says Squeeze. And if you click this little checkbox here where it says Preview, it'll let you see what you're going to do. And we want to make the squeeze go vertical, not horizontal. And then we're going to click OK. And we're just going to move this over just a little bit. And you can kind of see how this is starting to look like the front of a hammer right here. So the next tool we're going to use is the star tool. And you're going to click and pull on here and it should start coming out looking like a star. But we want to make a triangle. So we're going to click on the down arrow while we still have the mouse button pushed in so that it gives us this right here. And if you hold the shift key, it'll make sure that it's straight. We want our triangle to be about 40 by 34. So we have a triangle here. And then we're going to, with it still selected, we're going to go up to Object, Path, and then we're going to go Add Anchor Points right here. I'm going to grab the Direct Selection tool and I'm going to double click on this point at the very top here, and then I'm going to hit the backspace key. And you'll see that it takes off the whole top half of my triangle. And so we can't have that, and we're going to need to have it joined. So we're going to go to Object, Path, and then Join. And so it gives us my little trapezoid. But I want the narrow part at the bottom. So in order to do that, I'm going to go ahead and go to Object, Transform, Reflect. And then I can choose horizontal so that it flops it down. And if you click the preview button, you can make sure that it's correct. And when you like the way you save, just click OK. And then the next thing I'm going to do is up here at the top in the control panel, I'm going to click on this style drop down, and right here you see a little square with rounded corners. And so I'm just going to click on it and it's going to disappear. but that's just because it has, the default is set to being transparent everything. So I'm going to change the stroke to black and the fill to gray. I'm going to make that a little bit lighter. So as you see, I've kind of got like a rounded triangle kind of looking thing. So I'm going to move this over here. And actually I'm going to change that to a lighter color too. There we go. So let me move this onto this. And then I'm going to select both of these by holding the shift key down and select them both and move it down. Alright, there we go. Now, this next part is a little more tricky. We're going to grab the star tool again, and this time it should default to triangle. So you're just going to draw your triangle, and we want it to be on its side like this. And you're going to make it, you want to make it as wide as you want it. So don't worry about how tall it's going to be, because we're going to fix that in here in a minute. Alright, so I'm going to kind of move this over here so it's kind of not in the way. And then you should also have 6 anchor points, one on each corner and then one halfway through each one. You should already have that because of what we've already done. Alright, so with the direct selection tool, you're going to click and pull this down, and then you're going to click this one up. Let's move this over here just to kind of get an idea. Yeah, sometimes it can be tricky to get those. It'll want to move it. So in order to make sure you're just moving the point, you may have to double click on it and see how that works nicely now. So now we're going to bring the point up like that. And we're going to move this over. You kind of have to play with this a little bit. And we're probably going to want to bring this point down a little bit. Alright, so when you have it approximately looking like the back end of a hammer, you're going to go and select on the selection tool, and you'll need to click on here to bring back the right control panel. And we're going to click on that style again, and we're going to choose that same rounded corners one. Go back and change the stroke to black and the fill to gray, and then kind of, that's looking pretty close. We'll probably need to tweak it a little more, but you'll notice now you can kind of, it looks weird because this is in front. And all we have to do is just change the arrangement. Right click on the little claw part of our hammer and go down to arrange. And then you can move over here and you can either bring to front, bring forward, send backward, or send to back. We're going to just send it all the way to the back, and then we're going to click on it. Okay, it still looks a little weird, so we're going to click on it. And when you bring your cursor out here, you'll see that curved arrows on either side, and you can use that to tweak the angle a little bit. So we'll move that. Alright, and then you'll need to let go of it every once in a while just so you can get a better look of how it's looking. I think I'm going to move this in a little bit still. I'm going to grab the direct selection tool again because I want to do some more tweaking with this. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to make a grip for our hammer. So we're going to go back and click on the rounded rectangle tool right here, and you can make your grip as tall as you want. I'm going to make it about 3/4, and you're just going to put it on right over there. There we go. We're going to change the grip color to black, and we'll use the arrow keys to move it right here. And we are going to click and hold on the pin tool because we want the delete anchor point tool to be used, and all we're going to do is get rid of this one anchor point right here and that one right there. But our handle looks like this on the top, and then we're going to do the same thing at the bottom. Click twice, then we got a little rounded on the grip so it looks a little more natural. And there's your completed product.